News Radio 700 WLW.
Almost all of us either have had a heart attack or know people that have. The stats say that over 800,000 Americans will suffer from a heart attack each year. And about 1 in 5 are not detected. They're called silent heart attacks. And we know all about eating well. We know all about living well. We know all about the things we need to do our best to avoid something like that. But we don't always adhere to what we're supposed to do. 20% of people that have a heart attack in any given year, they have no idea they had one, but the damage that's done during a heart attack is residual. It can be something that could smack you upside the head like a skillet 30 years after you had it. And you wonder, well, how did this happen? Well, it happened because something happened to you from a cardiological standpoint that you might have been able to avoid. Out now are five beverages, 5 drinks that you should steer clear of or at least cut down on if you want to maintain good heart health. Actually 4 of these aren't really all that surprising. Soda, pop, whatever you want to call it, Diet Coke, loaded with caffeine. Coffee, I mean, that makes sense too. Energy drinks. You go into a convenience store, you see right by the register, you have 5-hour energy boosts. Well, all that is just sending your metabolic system into hyperdrive, including your heart. And alcohol. We know that alcohol can be a mitigating factor in a lot of heart disease. The 5th one, though, is a little surprising. I'll sit on that for a while as we bring in renowned cardiologist Dr. Farah. She's been on the show before, and it's great to have her here on this Saturday to talk about all of this. And, Doctor, how are you on this glorious Saturday?
Hi there. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well because, number one, I don't drink sodas or pop. I don't do energy drinks, and I drink decaffeinated coffee. So I think I've got a leg up on most people, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you're doing quite well on that, according to that, yes.
So these are easy things to get. First of all, let's deal with these 5-hour energy drinks, the little bottles you see in convenience stores. Hey, I'm feeling a little sluggish, a little slow. I'll drink one of those. I'll chug that. And it says, sure, I'll be good for 5 hours. What exactly do those things do to you when you drink one?
Yes. So energy drinks, I usually ask my patients to, stay away from energy drinks just because they're so heavy on, they usually have lots of caffeine in a very concentrated amount. And a lot of the other energy drinks have some other components in it too, that could be, but mainly the concentration of caffeine, that it could be harmful for the heart in the sense that it can increase people's risk of having arrhythmia, having irregular heart rhythm. But also energy drinks in such high concentration can cause increased blood pressure. And blood pressure is one of the most well-known and common risk factors for causing heart disease. So that's part of the reason why we discourage our patients from drinking too many energy drinks.
Yeah, I mean, it stands to reason that if you're going to buy one of those, if you're feeling sluggish, it has to be loaded with caffeine. It sounds like drinking one of those is like drinking 5 triple-shot lattes in about an hour, is what it sounds like.
That's correct, yes. It's a huge boost of a concentrated amount of caffeine in a very short period of time that you're ingesting.
Yeah, soda, that's another thing too. I mean, that's loaded. I mean, Mountain Dew, I think it's just like water with caffeine in it. I know it's got some taste, but I mean, most of that stuff's bad for you anyway, whether or not it's the caffeine, or you could drink a decaffeinated cola or something like that. I mean, most of that stuff isn't good for you anyway for things other than just the caffeine. Am I right there?
It's not just caffeine. That's correct. When it comes to soda, this is something that we've talked about and known about for several years, like decades now, that soda is not heart healthy. Even the diet sodas are not heart healthy, partly because, as you mentioned, it has caffeine. That part is there, but also, there's sugar component that can cause people to gain weight, and over time, that is a risk factor for coronary artery disease, like plaque buildup and things like that. It can increase your cholesterol level, but even for there's a lot of diet sodas out there, and we've noticed that even the diet sodas are not necessarily good for the body or the heart, because we've noticed that even people who drink diet soda are at increased risk of having weight gain over a period of time. And it's because of the other things, the other components that are there, it kind of tricks the body. And I know that there have been other studies done that shows that it actually increases hunger in a lot of people. And it increases their appetite, and over time it actually causes them to gain weight. So soda is one of the things that we definitely tell our patients to, it's not that you can have a soda, it's just you have to do it in moderation.
Yeah, well, it's the same with alcohol too, but I think a lot of people are they don't know. They're out socializing. Maybe they'll have a beer, maybe they'll have two, maybe a glass of wine, maybe two. I mean, the general rule of thumb is at least for a male, 2 drinks per day, and that's it. Is that right? And if it is, why is it only 2, or why is it less than 2?
I'm really glad you asked me about that question. It's actually not 2 anymore. So in the past, we used to say that it was okay for women to drink 1 and men to have 2. And then we changed our, what we were saying, and then we said, no, 2 alcohol is not good for men, 1 for everybody. And then actually 2 years ago, we had a large-scale study done. It was on alcohol. We had thousands of people that were part of the study. It was an international study that showed that no amount of alcohol is good for the heart or the body. So it's the current guideline, the current recommendation from the medical community is that. It's not 1 or 2 drinks. It's actually no amount of alcohol is good.
So do away with alcohol completely.
That would be the best for the heart, yes.
Best
for
for
both
the heart.
men and women.
Right, but the chances of that happening. You have a better chance of accompanying me on a mission to Mars. People aren't going to just do away with alcohol. How would people want to go out and have a good time? So you're saying don't have a drink at all? I got to believe you do.
So, that's me telling you about what the study showed. But you're right. We have to be realistic. Alcohol is obviously a big part of, people's relaxation and enjoyment. So what I say to my patients is moderation is key. If you're going to go out there and have 1 glass of wine over dinner, during the weekend, that's fine. You got to be able to have that much, if that's something you enjoy. But you do have to pay attention to how much you're drinking. 1 drink is, every once in a while. If that's your leisure, it's all about moderation. So you just got to follow that.
Yeah. The fifth drink on this list was a shocker: milkshakes. Now, is that because of the fat inside the milk, or or the ice cream that has fat? Why would milkshakes be bad?
Yes, so that's actually not a shock for me, just because you're absolutely right. Milkshake by itself, it has so many other components. For instance, sugar. Sugar is carb, and that can increase people's risk of having diabetes. It can increase their cholesterol level, and you're right. The creamy part, like the ice cream, which does have cholesterol in it, so it can increase their cholesterol level, and over time, it can increase their chances and risk of having heart disease like atherosclerotic plaque formation, which is, the building block for blockage and having a heart attack down the road. So milkshake is something, if you can avoid, you should.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going anywhere anymore, and I'm not going to eat anything. I'm just going to stay home and make some kale and carrot juice. I'll put it in my juicer and just drink that. I don't know what the hell to eat anymore, doctor. I really don't. I'm trying to eat right. I don't eat a lot of red meat. I eat, fish, chicken, and now I can't even have a milkshake. It's unbelievable. But you're right. I think the scary part here for me is that, and I had a heart attack about 11 years ago. But there are a lot of people that simply don't know when they have one. And any cardiologist can fill you in. If 20% of the people walking around have a heart attack and they don't know, well, what does that do to damage in the heart that might affect you 5, 10, 15 years down the road? So I guess, genetics aside, you've got to do everything in your power to prevent that stuff from happening, and that's what we're talking about here. I guess that would make sense.
Yes, absolutely. And, this is not to, by any means to let people down that you can't drink anything or enjoy life. You absolutely can. The key is moderation. There's nothing wrong. It's not to say that you can never have another milkshake again. You can. It's just how frequently, how much. So it's all about moderation. That's my message. There are lots of healthy drinks, like you mentioned, vegetable drinks, fruit drinks, mocktails that you can create and be creative about that could still be healthy. So.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. Dr. Fahmi Farah, cardiologist extraordinaire. Listen to her and your heart will keep ticking a long, long time. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you so much.